Welcome to Yoga for You with your host, Anna Del Rosal, certified yoga teacher. Yoga is not a substitute for medical attention, examination, diagnosis, or treatment. Please check with your doctor before beginning any exercise regimen, especially if you recently had surgery, are pregnant, or postnatal. If at any moment something doesn't feel right, please stop. It's important to listen to your body. I will provide detailed instruction as you move in and out of poses to ensure your safety. If you have any questions, contact your local yoga teacher or studio. Thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed day. Welcome to Yoga for You with Anna. Today is one of those little sweet inspirations. It's about 15 minutes long, and we're going to focus on the hips. So to start, actually I'll probably get the external and the internal portion of the hips, but to start, just come to lay on your backs with your knees bent, and we'll start with a figure 4. So just being comfortable here. I'm actually going to change. We're not going to start with figure 4. Bring your feet mat width apart, or at least wider than your hips. Arms out to your sides, however you want. And you're just actually going to rock your legs, windshield wiper your legs. So just drop them both to one side, and you inhale, come up, and you're going to exhale, drop them to the other side. And inhaling. So this is a great way to get the synovial fluid in the joint socket here, pumping through. So a nice one, especially in the first thing in the mornings to do. So you can still do this laying in bed. And we're just going to go side to side, just lubricating the inside of the joint. We will eventually hold it, but I just want you to just move and feel and breathe. So we'll do 2 more to each side, and then third time we'll hold the twist. And you can move slower if you like. I don't want you to speed through this because then you're using the larger muscles, but just take your time so you're getting into these smaller muscles, stabilizing muscles. And this next time when you drop your legs to that first side that you started, you're just going to hold there. So you can stay right there. If you're twisting to the left, you can bring the left foot onto the right thigh. If you're twisting to the right, you can bring the right foot onto the left thigh. Only if that feels right. If it's too much on the knee, slide the foot off. So it's a bit more of a pregnant twist. You're open here. This is a great one for pregnant ladies. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Okay, take one more full breath here. And then if the foot's on the thigh, slide it off. Inhale, draw the legs up through center and twist to the other side. So if you want, I'm twisting to the right, you'd bring the right foot onto the right thigh. If you want that a little extra, if you're twisting to the left, you can bring the left foot to the right thigh. And breathe. Again, if it's too much on the knee, slide the foot off. You know, we don't do yoga to bring harm to ourselves. We do it to find a little bit more movement, flexibility, grounding, centering, calming. So one of the tenets in yoga is it's ahimsa, which is non-violence. So your practice should be non-violent towards yourself, towards others. Good. Take one more full breath here. And then slide the foot off the thigh, come up through center. Now bring your feet hip width apart. And we're going to come into figure 4. So I'm going to start with my left leg. Left ankle to the right thigh. Actually, I will start on the same side, so it'll be a little easier. You may stay here. If this left thigh feels tight, or the outer feels tight, feel free to stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can Lift that right thigh into your chest and either grab the hamstring with both hands, sliding the left hand through your legs, or you can grab that shin. And that's just going to depend upon your flexibility. Now this left foot is flexed to protect the knee. And you're drawing the legs in. If, again, you can be with the foot down, you feel free to be there. And just rock side to side. So even if your feet are on the mat, just rock side to side again a little bit. And you'll notice like there's slightly different areas that are tighter. And then you can just find a spot you want to hold and just stay there. And just a couple deep breaths. And just breathing into your back. Just take 3 more breaths. Maybe hug the legs a little bit more. Take another full breath. And then release and lower the leg. So take that left foot to the mat. Now you're going to bring your right ankle to your left thigh. Flex the foot, protect the knee. Again, you can stay here if this is where you need to be, or you can bring the thighs closer towards you, slide your hands through the legs, grab the left hamstring, or grab that left shin. And it's just going to depend on the flexibility. And just take a couple breaths there. So first just let it settle in. Keep your hips in the same plane so you're not hiking up your one hip. The tendency is to lift one hip up so it looks like we have a little bit more opening. But just be honest with yourself. And then just rock side to side here. Again, you might notice different fibers that are tight. And just being aware, this is just, yoga helps to build this awareness within our body. And, you know, when we know or when we are more aware, then it can help us to make the shifts to make us feel better within our bodies, feel better in our lives. And then just hold. I didn't say this earlier, but if you want to put a pillow under your head, feel free, especially if your chin is higher than your forehead. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. Maybe hugging the legs a little bit, and a little closer towards you, deepening that stretch. Good. Take 2 more breaths. And 1 more full breath. And then slowly release. And just extend your legs for a moment. Actually, yeah, just extend. I don't know, I feel like just a long stretch here. Open up through the front body. Oh, okay. And then actually keep your, since we start with the left, bring your left knee in. If this is too much for the front of that right thigh, just bend that right knee. If you're here and the leg is sort of floating in the air, bend the knee so that right foot's on the mat. Grab the left hamstring with your hands, and you can interlace your hands underneath your hamstring. You're going to inhale, straighten the leg, flex the foot, and then point and release. And just do this a couple times. So inhale, straighten and flex, point and release. And just continue. And release. Just a couple more. And release. Good. 1 more. And then you're going to extend and hold. Flex the foot. Draw the leg in. If you can, reach higher, feel free. If you can grab the toe, feel free. But if you're grabbing the toe and everything's lifting off the floor, especially those shoulders, walk your hands down the leg. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. Good. Again, this right femur, you're trying to bring this right leg to the floor as much as possible. Take a breath. Okay, so grab a hold of this left leg with that left arm. Right hand comes to your right thigh. You're going to open the leg out to the right. So as you do so, you're not lifting this right hip. You're keeping that right hip anchored, and you're just getting now an inner thigh stretch to that left side. Good. Reach that right leg away from you. One more breath. And then come up through center, hug the knee in, and we'll switch sides. So extend that left leg, bring that right knee into your chest. And then grab the hamstring, and you're going to extend and flex, and then point and bend just a couple of times. Just opening up the back of the leg. So this left leg, you can bend the knee if you need to, as much as you want or as little. But your goal is with this left leg to get that femur, the thigh bone, to the mat. And one more like this, and then you're going to hold the hamstring stretch. So our hamstring muscles do attach into the back of our hips. One of the reasons we're working through them. Again, you can hold the hamstring or walk your hands up higher or grab your toe, whatever feels right for you. And it doesn't have to be your deepest stretch. You don't have to go to your max every time. Sometimes backing off feels actually much nicer and easier. And take one more breath here. Good. I'm just going to reach a little higher. You're going to grab that right shin or right toe, if that's available to you, and open up to the right. So again, you're not lifting this left hip. This left hip stays anchored. So we're really just focusing on stretching that inner thigh. And you're drawing the leg up. Hug the belly in. A couple of deep breaths. Good. Take 2 more breaths. And then come up through center. Hug both knees into your chest. And rock up to sit or roll to one side. And just do a couple of forward folds here. So first, actually, let's do Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together. And to start, let's just stay upright. So your choice is, I'm up on my fingertips. Just flip to the side so you can see. So here, I just want you to bring your hands behind you. And you're on your fingertips. And it gives you just a little bit more space than being flat. And it gets you a little bit more upright. And actually just rock side to side here. So you're moving your hips side to side. And then just begin to settle into the middle. I'm going to turn to face you again. So now just letting the knees soften towards the floor. And you can have the feet further out if that feels better for you. And then from here, you can stay here or grab your shins or grab your feet. And then from here, you're going to just hinge forward. Maybe you're coming forward a tiny bit. Maybe you're coming forward a lot. You can press your elbows into your inner thighs to help get that inner thigh stretch. And breathe. Just take a couple full breaths here. And maybe letting those knees gently open towards the floor. Good. Take 2 more breaths. And then slowly come up. And now you're going to open your legs wide. So move the flesh away from the sit bones. And we're going to actually, you can stay upright if that's upright here, if that's where you are, or walk your hands forward. And just come forward to what feels comfortable for you. You can drop your head and just take a couple of deep breaths. But flex the feet here and make sure that the toes are facing up, the knees are facing up, that you're not just sort of toes turned in. This will help you get into those hamstrings again, which can help release any tension on the hips. Good. Take 2 more breaths. Good. 1 more full breath. And then walk your hands back. And let's do another quick stretch. So bend your right knee in, left leg straight. You may stay right here. If your knee's really high, you can place something underneath here. And then you're going to just fold over your left leg. A lot, a little, you may grab the foot to fold. But just find where you're comfortable. And just lengthen out of the hips. Hug the belly in. Take 2 more breaths. And then let's switch sides. So extend, and let's bring the other leg in. And then one hand to each side of the right leg, fold over. So fold to what your level is. I've been practicing for 20 years. So, and sometimes I honestly believe genetics has a big play into our flexibility, lifestyle habits, age, all of that. But just know that the more you come to the mat, the more your body starts to unwind, and you will find that you are getting a little bit more out of your lengths, out of your stretches. Take 2 more breaths. Good, 1 more breath. And then walk your hands back. Good, and just come to a comfortable seat. We'll close off here. So any comfortable seat, if it's cross-legged or sitting up on your shins. And just close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths. And sort of do a quick check-in, just be aware of how your hips feel at this moment. And then bring your hands to prayer. And just take a moment to think of one thing that you're grateful for today. Thank you for tuning in. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.